AITA for not letting my neighbour S kid ruin my lawn in the name of imagination. I live in a quiet suburban neighbourhood with your standard backyard, some grass, a few old trees, a weathered shed. Nothing fancy, but I try to keep it tidy. I'm on polite, but not close terms with most neighbours. We wave, sometimes chat about the weather, and that S about it. They're S a family 2 doors down with a boy who S maybe 9 or 10. Lately, he S gone full pirate mode. I mean fully committed. E-patch, cardboard sword, yelling you be cursed at squirrels. Honestly, pretty wholesome. At first. Then I started noticing small holes in my yard. Just little ones near the fence. I assumed it was raccoons. But then the holes got bigger. One morning I went out and found the ground behind my shed completely torn up, with clumps of grass tossed around and a map pinned to the tree with a stick. Eventually, I caught him out there mid-take. I asked him what he was doing and he straight up said, "I'm hiding my treasure. No one must know. This is the perfect hiding spot." I told him calmly, "Hey, this is my yard. You can dig here." He got a little huffy but ran off. I figured that was the end of it. Nope. Next day, there is a new hole. Bigger. A tin lunchbox half buried behind the shed. I dig it up and it is full of Pokemon cards, fake jewels, toy coins, and a few crumpled $5 bills. I bring it to his mom and explain what is going on. She immediately gets defensive. No apology. Just a heavy sigh and a well yes, just using his imagination. I think it is sweet. I told her I didn't mind the creativity, just not in my yard. She rolled her eyes and said, "Can't you just let him have this? It is not like your grass is that nice anyway." That one actually stunned me. I said as blithely as possible that I didn't want holes being dug on my property by someone else's kid. I handed over the box and left. That night, she sends a long text telling me I humiliated her son, crushed his imagination, and created an environment where children can feel safe being children. She said he cried for over an hour and now thinks I am the villain in his story. Her words. I didn't reply. I get it. He is a kid. I didn't yell. I didn't shame him, and I even gave the stuff back. But I am not thrilled about my yard being turned into a sandbox and getting insulted for not being okay with it. So AITA for drawing a line and not entertaining a pirate storyline that involved my yard getting wrecked. AITA for correctly guessing my friend's baby's sex. On the weekend, my wife and I went to our friend's gender reveal. For background information, our friend already has 2 boys, and she told my wife that she is hoping for a girl this time. In the car on the way there, my wife asked me what gender I thought the baby would be. I said that given that the sex ratio at birth is about 105 boys for every 100 girls, that my guess is that this child would be a boy. My wife said that given our friends had 2 boys already, that surely there would be more chance of a girl this time. I replied that the 2 boys were not relevant to the sex of the child our friends were expecting, and that there was still about a 51% chance this child would be a boy. At the gender reveal, it was announced that this child would also be a boy. Although our friend tried to appear happy at the party, it was clear that she was disappointed that this child would not be a girl. My wife also appeared to be disappointed as well. On the drive back home, my wife got angry with me and said that I could have been more supportive and that I shouldn't have been so mathematical with my guess about the baby's sex. Edited to add, could have been supportive referred to my guess that the child would be a boy and my reasoning for that guess. I told her that my response was perfectly reasonable to the questions she asked me. She didn't like that and stayed quiet for the rest of the drive home. So Reddit, AITA for not letting my coworker stay at my place even though I have the space, so I live alone in a small 2-bedroom house. One room is mine, the other one is basically my everything room. It is my office, my closet, storage. Sometimes I just lay on the floor in there and stare at the ceiling when life sucks lol. It is not a guest room. I've lived with horrible roommates before, so I worked really hard to be able to afford my own place, and I love having my space. It is literally my safe little bubble. Anyways, one of my co-workers got into a huge fight with her roommates, and they kicked her out. She was venting at work and I felt bad and was like, that sucks and even sent her a few places to look at. I was trying to be helpful without inviting chaos into my life. Later that night she texted me saying, "Hey, I was thinking maybe I could just crash with you for a few weeks since you live alone and have the space." I literally got that sinking feeling in my chest. No. I am not even close to her. We recool at work, but we've never even hung out outside of lunch breaks and complaining about our boss. She doesn't know anything about me, and I don't know her like that. Why would she live in my house? So I replied super politely like I totally get that you're going through it, but I really value my space, and I am just not in a place where I can have someone stay with me like I was nice. Didn't he ghost her? Didn't he ignore her? Just said no. Next day she's acting really weird. Then another coworker tells me she said I let her be homeless when I have an entire room to myself. Like, girl, first of all, she is staying at her BIV's place. Second of all, I paid to live alone. That is the whole point. I don't want to feel tense or uncomfortable in my own space. I don't want to tiptoe around a person I barely know. And I definitely don't want to deal with just a few weeks turning into I'm looking but nothing is coming through yet for 2 months. Now pull at work or acting like I'm the bad guy. Sorry for not letting a coworker move into my apartment BC she had a bad fight. I feel bad but like. Also no. Update. She went to jail, lol. Don't know what happened but I feel horrible to say I laugh. Well, solves that issue. Edit cause I have to highlight my favorite comment. Go up to the people that had something to say and tell them they are horrible for not bailing her out. AITA, my parents are forcing me to pay for my brother's grad school using money they never told me about. I've been financially independent since graduating college. I worked practically full-time while studying, recently paid off my student loans on my own, and just started saving to buy a home. I didn't apply to grad school because I can't afford it, and my parents made it pretty clear growing up that we needed to stand on our own after high school. My brother is honestly a genius. He worked really hard in school, got a full academic right to a great state school, and graduated with honours. I'm so proud of him. The problem now is he recently got into an extremely prestigious grad program that would open a lot of doors for him. He was hoping for scholarships or a paid internship to cover most of it, but it is not enough. Now he is facing tuition and housing costs in one of the most expensive cities in the country. My parents asked if I could help out and suggested I contribute around zero to get him through the first year. They'd match it, and he'd take loans for the rest. I said no. I've been working for over a decade on my own goals, and I am just now starting to save for a house. I don't feel comfortable putting that on hold, especially when I had to turn down opportunities because there was no help available to me. During the conversation, my mum got frustrated and said they'd be using my other fund to help him instead. I asked what she meant and she said they had set aside about zero for me back when I was in college, meant to be used for a future wedding. I was completely blindsided. I had no idea this fund existed. I asked why I wasn't told about it when I was considering grad school or now while I am saving for a home. She said it was always intended for a wedding, not school or property, and since I haven't needed it, I am not engaged or in a relationship. They decided to give it to my brother because he has a more immediate need. I'm not going to lie, I was pissed. I never got a chance to make a case for how I could be used that money, and now it has just been handed over to someone else. I told them I felt hurt and left out. My mom said I was being unfair and that the money was never promised, and if I didn't want it for a wedding, then it made sense to use it for something meaningful. My brother told me he didn't know about the wedding fund either, and he understands why I'd be upset, but said he didn't ask for it. He just wants to go to school and thought we were all trying to support each other. I know my brother worked hard and isn't trying to take anything from me, but I can't help feeling like my parents are punishing me for being practical. AITA, for not letting my boyfriend come on vacation with me because he's a picky eater. Edit. I am breaking up with him. After seeing a glimpse into my future via your responses, I realized I cannot do this and it will eventually wreck us. Thank you. My boyfriend has tons of food restrictions and is picky in general. He basically can only eat chicken fingers, grilled cheese, mac and cheese and pad thai. I've never seen him eat a vegetable. We just started dating a few months ago and I love him, but I eat everything and am very laid back. I know I will have to plan my entire day around finding food he can eat, on top of listening to him complain that things aren't the same. Even if a restaurant does have chicken fingers or mac and cheese, it won't be the same as what we get at home, and I just don't want to hear about it while I'm on vacation. AITA, I feel bad.